11 common foods you should not refrigerate. Most of us build our meal plans and grocery lists with some consideration of which items are going to spoil quickly, whether we realize it or not. To put it simply, some foods may live in your pantry for months without going bad, while others might last just a few days, even under perfect refrigerator conditions. Sometimes it's clear when a food needs a refrigerator or freezer, for example. Most of us know not to keep raw meat in the kitchen cabinet, and that canned goods don't need to be refrigerated. But sometimes you may find yourself looking at an item and thinking, where am I supposed to store this? That's why in today's video we will talk about 11 foods that you must not put in the refrigerator to make their shelf life longer. Also, stick to the end of the video and we will tell you about a few foods that should go directly to the refrigerator from grocery bags. Let's get started. 1. Tomatoes. Storing tomatoes in the refrigerator might seem like a natural choice to prolong their shelf life, but this common practice may actually harm their flavor, texture, and potentially their nutritional value. When tomatoes are stored in the refrigerator, the cold environment disrupts these natural ripening processes. Temperatures below 55 degrees Fahrenheit, about 13 degrees Celsius, halt the activity of the enzymes responsible for flavor development. Consequently, the tomato's natural sugars, acids, and aromatic compounds cease to evolve, leading to a less flavorful fruit. Furthermore, the chilly conditions of a refrigerator induce a structural breakdown within the tomato. The cold causes the breakdown of the cell walls within the fruit, leading to a merely unappetizing texture. This texture change is not just a matter of displeasing mouthfeel, but may also detract from the overall eating experience, making the tomato less appealing and potentially leading to increased food waste. The diminished taste and texture might lead to a reduced consumption of tomatoes, which are known for their health benefits, including high levels of vitamins C and K, potassium, and the antioxidant lycopene. Less intake of these nutritious fruits may subtly impact dietary quality, especially if one opts for less healthy snack alternatives as a result. 2. Potatoes. The key issue with refrigerating potatoes lies in the conversion of starch to sugar. Potatoes are rich in starch, which is responsible for their firm texture and also impacts their cooking properties. However, when potatoes are stored in cold conditions, such as those in a refrigerator, the low temperature triggers an enzymatic reaction that breaks down starch into sugar more rapidly than at room temperature. This increase in sugar content not only alters the taste of the potatoes, making them unpleasantly sweet, but it also affects their texture, leading to an undesirably darker color when cooked. This is particularly noticeable when frying or roasting, as the excess sugars caramelize and may lead to a burnt flavor and appearance. Moreover, when these sugar-rich potatoes are cooked at high temperatures, it may lead to the formation of acrylamide, a chemical compound that is formed when foods high in starch are fried, roasted, or baked at high temperatures. Acrylamide has been classified as a potential human carcinogen by the International Agency for Research on Cancer. To avoid these issues, potatoes should be stored in a cool, dark, and well-ventilated area to maintain their starch content, prevent premature sprouting, and minimize the risk of converting starch to sugar. 3. Onions. Onions, which are layered, dry, and fibrous by nature, are designed to absorb moisture from their surroundings. When stored in the fridge, the cool, humid air may infiltrate the onion's layers, leading to a soft, mushy texture. This sogginess not only makes the onion less appetizing and more difficult to chop, but may also accelerate decay, leading to waste and reducing the onion's nutritional benefits. The altered environment may also promote the growth of molds and bacteria. While the fridge is generally seen as a bastion against spoilage, the specific conditions may actually be a breeding ground for microorganisms that are particularly suited to cold, moist environments. These organisms may cause the onions to rot more rapidly and may pose health risks if ingested. Onions are rich in vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants, particularly quercetin, a powerful anti-inflammatory compound. When onions are improperly stored and begin to spoil, their nutritional content diminishes. Therefore, the best practice is to store onions in a cool, dark, and dry place, such as a pantry or a storage bin, designed for root vegetables. 4. Garlic. When garlic is stored in the refrigerator, the cold and humid conditions may disrupt its dormancy and encourage it to sprout. While sprouted garlic is not harmful to eat, the green shoots may impart a bitter flavor, reducing the garlic's overall taste and culinary value. Moreover, the energy stored in the garlic clove starts redirecting towards growing these sprouts, diminishing the garlic's potency and flavor. Furthermore, the humidity in the refrigerator may lead to a condition known as garlic rust, a fungal disease that discolors the cloves and reduces their quality. Not only does this affect the garlic's appearance and texture, but it may also make it unsuitable for consumption. When garlic is kept in conditions that lead to sprouting, mold growth, or rust, the allicin content may decrease, thereby diminishing the garlic's antibacterial, antiviral, and antifungal attributes. Therefore, instead of refrigerating, garlic should be stored in a dry, ventilated container at room temperature. 5. Bread. Bread is rich in starch, which provides its structure and softness. When bread is baked, the starch granules absorb water and swell, giving the bread its characteristic texture. However, once the bread begins to cool after baking, the starch molecules start to realign themselves into a more crystalline structure, a process that continues over time, leading to the bread becoming stale. Refrigerating bread accelerates this retrogradation process because the cold temperature causes the starch crystals to reform more quickly than they would at room temperature. As a result, the bread becomes stale faster in the fridge than it would if kept in a pantry or bread box at room temperature. Instead of refrigerating, bread should ideally be stored in a cool, dry place and consumed within a few days. For longer-term storage, freezing is a better option. Simply wrap the bread tightly to prevent freezer burn and thaw it at room temperature when ready to eat. 6. Honey. Honey is a natural substance that has been used for thousands of years. One of the unique features of honey is its very low water content, combined with its high sugar concentration. This combination creates an environment that is inhospitable to bacteria and yeast, which is why honey may remain stable and edible for incredibly long periods when stored properly at room temperature. It's also important to know that some producers dilute honey with plain syrup. Although honey adulteration is illegal in most countries, it remains a widespread problem. When honey is refrigerated, the cold temperature increases the viscosity thickness of the honey, making it solidify and become grainy. This process is natural and reversible, but it may make honey less appealing and more difficult to use. The graininess occurs because glucose, one of the primary sugars in honey, precipitates out of the liquid, forming crystals. It's important to understand that the crystallization of honey in the fridge is not a sign of spoilage, nor does it reduce the nutritional value of the honey. However, many people prefer the smooth, liquid state of honey, and crystallization may detract from the sensory experience of using honey. 7. Coffee. Who does not love coffee? Coffee contains caffeine, a central nervous system stimulant that is known for its ability to fight fatigue and increase energy levels. But don't ever put it in the refrigerator. When coffee is stored in the fridge, it is exposed to fluctuating temperatures every time the door is opened. This temperature variation may cause condensation to form on the coffee, which in turn introduces moisture to the beans or grounds. Moisture is one of coffee's biggest enemies, as it may lead to the development of mold and mildew, especially if the coffee is stored in a non-airtight container. Additionally, moisture may cause the coffee to clump together, making it difficult to measure and brew correctly. Aside from altering the taste and texture, the introduction of moisture and potential mold growth may pose health risks. While consuming moldy coffee is not likely to cause severe health issues in most people, it may lead to digestive discomfort and be particularly problematic for individuals with mold allergies or compromised immune systems. Instead of refrigeration, coffee should be stored in an airtight container in a cool, dark place. A pantry or cabinet away from direct sunlight, moisture, and strong odors is ideal. 8. Oils. Oils are composed of various types of fats, and their reaction to cold temperatures may vary. When you store oil in the refrigerator, it becomes cloudy and thickens due to the solidification of the saturated fats it contains. This process, known as cold-induced crystallization, doesn't mean the oil has gone bad, but it does make it less convenient to use. Apart from that, oils, especially those rich in monounsaturated and polyunsaturated fats like olive and fish oils, contain vitamins and antioxidants that may be sensitive to temperature changes. Repeatedly moving the oil from a cold to a warm environment may lead to a breakdown of these beneficial compounds, reducing the nutritional value of the oil over time. Please remember that unrefined oils may contain more nutrients, but they're also more sensitive to heat and may go rancid more quickly than highly processed cooking oils. Refined oils tend to have higher smoke points than unrefined oils. A cupboard away from the stove or any other heat source is ideal to preserve such oil. 9. Avocados. The primary reason not to refrigerate unripe avocados is that cold temperatures slow down the enzymatic reactions that cause the fruit to ripen. In the chilly environment of a refrigerator, the ripening process is significantly delayed, and sometimes avocados may never ripen properly at all. This means they could remain hard, lack flavor, or have an uneven, less creamy texture than those allowed to ripen at room temperature. Moreover, they're rich in nutrients that are often lacking in many people's diets, including magnesium, B6, vitamin C, vitamin E, and folate. An unripe, cold-stored avocado may lead to a less nutritious fruit and diminish its health benefits, including its heart-healthy fats and fibers. Once avocados are ripe, you may store them in the refrigerator to slow down further ripening and extend their shelf life. 10. Bananas. The ripening of bananas is a complex process that involves the conversion of starches into sugars. This natural progression is what makes the fruit sweeter and softer over time. At the heart of this process is an enzyme-driven mechanism that operates optimally at room temperature. When bananas are placed in the refrigerator, the cold environment disrupts these enzymatic activities, significantly slowing down the ripening process. As a result, the banana may remain hard and unripe, lacking in flavor and sweetness. Moreover, bananas are rich in soluble fiber. During digestion, soluble fiber dissolves in liquid to form a gel. This may also contribute to a banana's sponge-like texture. However, the cold temperature affects the banana's skin first and foremost. The peel contains cells that react negatively to cold, leading to the blackening or browning we often see when bananas are refrigerated. This discoloration is a result of the breakdown of cell walls in the peel, which releases phenolic compounds and allows them to oxidize. 11. Eggplants. Research suggests that polyphenols or natural plant compounds found in foods like eggplant may reduce sugar absorption and increase insulin secretion, both of which may help lower blood sugar. But what is the best way to store it? The primary issue with refrigerating eggplants is that they are susceptible to cold damage. Eggplants are native to warmer climates and thus are not adapted to the cold environment of a refrigerator, typically set below 50 degrees Fahrenheit, 10 degrees Celsius. At these temperatures, the cold starts to affect the texture of the eggplant by breaking down its cell walls. This breakdown leads to a spongy, soft texture in the flesh, which may significantly detract from the eggplant's typically firm and meaty texture when cooked. It's important to note that if you must store eggplant for more than a couple of days, choosing a cool, not cold, part of the house, like a pantry, may be a better option. However, eggplants are best used fresh, ideally within a few days of purchase. What types of foods should you put in the refrigerator? Refrigeration is crucial for preserving the freshness and safety of many types of foods. Remember, while refrigeration may extend the shelf life of many foods, it's important to monitor the temperature of your refrigerator, keeping it at or below 40 degrees Fahrenheit 4 degrees Celsius to ensure food safety. 1. Dairy products. Milk, cheese, yogurt, and other dairy products need to be refrigerated to slow the growth of bacteria and prevent spoilage. 2. Raw meat, poultry, and seafood. These items are highly perishable and may harbor harmful bacteria. Refrigeration slows bacterial growth and reduces the risk of food poisoning. 3. Cooked foods and leftovers. Once cooked, foods should be cooled and placed in the refrigerator within 2 hours. This helps prevent bacterial growth and keeps the food safe to eat. 4. Eggs. Eggs should be stored in the refrigerator to maintain their quality and reduce the risk of salmonella infection. 5. Fresh produce. Certain fruits and vegetables, such as berries, grapes, leafy greens, and carrots, last longer when stored in the fridge. However, remember that not all produce should be refrigerated. 6. Doughs and batters. Whether it's for bread, cookies, or cakes, raw doughs and batters should be refrigerated to prevent bacterial growth and maintain freshness. Understanding the proper storage conditions for different foods may help you preserve their flavor, texture, and nutritional value. Always try to store your foods in conditions that mimic their natural environment as closely as possible for optimum freshness and taste. Additionally, always pay attention to food labels and storage instructions, as they may provide specific guidance on how to best preserve the quality and safety of particular food items. Today, we learned about all the foods you don't need to put in the refrigerator. But did you know that there are many useful things in your kitchen that may be just as helpful? Want to find out more? Watch 12 powerful reasons why you should eat eggs every day. Or watch 40 superfoods that have almost no calories. You may watch either or both of them. How many of the foods mentioned earlier are currently in your refrigerator? Let us know in the comments section below.